Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of O365Eh. Settle in as we dive into some significant Microsoft licensing changes that affect Microsoft Places, Teams shared licenses, Teams town halls and webinar, and attendee pack licenses. So, Habib, why don't you kick us off with some licensing changes to Microsoft Places?
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. So on the Places side of things, there was three types of licensing if you wanted to have everything enabled and functional within Places. Obviously, the enterprise licenses or business licenses that you have from just a core M365 perspective, then you can add on Teams Premium on top of that, which provided you with some additional functionality. And then the third one is if you had Copilot on there, then you can have it for, meeting bookings and analytics and stuff like that. So what Microsoft has decided to do is they've taken a bunch of the feature set outside of Premium, Teams Premium, and they're moving it into the standard M365 core licensing. And so one of the main, so there's a couple of features that they're moving. Places Finder is one of them. This provides you the ability when you're actually creating a meeting invitation and stuff like that, be able to see the meeting rooms, to be able to find them and stuff like that. It'll replace like the room finder capability that's currently there in Outlook today. And then you'll be able to also see if you have it configured appropriately, what the room looks like, what kind of technology is in the room, if it's accessible or not, etc. So any of the kind of the feature set that you're providing there. And then the second part is the Places Explorer, I should say. And that's where you actually have a map-based view of the actual floors or buildings. You can actually go and zoom in and pick, which desk that you want to select and sit at. So those are the two major changes, just from a standard Microsoft Places perspective. And I think Dino's going to talk about how that affects the shared spaces.
Yeah, thanks, Hab. Effective April 1st, 2026, the Teams shared device license that we all know is changing, and that's going to effectively be changed to the Teams shared space license. So where we used the shared device license, on common area phones, that type of thing, was what that license was required for. I think in Canadian dollars, it was like $10 per device per month. They're going to rebrand it all for a few reasons, and it's not just going to be for shared devices like Teams phones. It's going to extend into the shared space. So again, the license is no longer for a single piece of hardware like a common area phone. It's going to be, or a panel or a display. It's now going to serve as a vehicle for workspace management. So you're getting this 4-for-1 value multiplier in the sense that this is in terms of financial implications of this. So instead of just paying $8 USD or 10 Canadian per month, you can now use that single license to manage up to 4 bookable desks. Before you needed to have one license per hot desking account, and now via the Pro Management Portal, I'm not sure how this is going to actually look in practice. You'll be able to take one of those licenses and license up to 4 bookable desks. If you're managing devices like phones, I'm fairly certain you're still going to need to have that one-to-one relationship. We were kind of talking off camera about this, but in the sense of it just being a bookable space, you're going to get that advantage of being able to use one license for four desks. I guess in terms of feature inclusions, Teams Phone, you're going to get Intune Plan 1, Entra P1. I don't think anything's changing there. Space management obviously is coming into the fold. Integration with third-party APIs for floor plans and occupancy sensors. It'll continue to support BYOD rooms for inventory and analytics in the Pro Management Portal. And lastly, the transition. So as of April 1st, the license will auto switch over. So if you're just using Teams phones and you're straight one-to-one, it'll transition for you. There's nothing you need to do. But if you want it to do in the pro management portal stuff, you're going to have to go in there and do some manual work or write some scripts to go and update desk objects to handle that transition. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Kurt.
Yeah, thanks, Dino. So before I cover some Teams licensing changes to do with webinars and town halls, an important update recently about Teams live events. So this is the older version of Town Hall. Microsoft has announced that it's retiring Teams live events and the Graph APIs used to create them. So that'll happen on June 30th, 2026. And Microsoft is encouraging any customers that use live events to migrate to Teams Town Halls, the new version. So again, that happens June 30th, but any existing live events will continue to function right through till February 2027. So you have some time to make that move to Teams Town Halls. In terms of Town Hall and webinar, there's 3 features that are in Teams Premium today that are moving to the Teams core licenses. So that's the advanced host controls and management, support up to 3,000 interactive attendees, and support for up to 10,000 attendees in a view-only experience. So those moving from Teams Premium into Teams Core, which is really good. And with that, I'll pass over to Michael to talk about attendee pack licenses.
Yeah, I don't know if we called it out, but like Dino was mentioning about the Teams shared space licenses coming around April 1st, these changes to the Teams Premium is also slated for April 1st. So the changes around, places being outside of Premium and some of these town hall and webinar features is all hitting, April of this year. With that, there is also a new license that's coming. So now there is an attendee pack license. This license is to go beyond the attendee view experience. So this is where Curtis was saying that, hey, we can have up to 10,000 view only experience. This allows you to kind of scale up your events beyond that. So this is the ability to add anywhere from 5,000 to 100,000. So there's going to be a sliding scale pricing to increase the quantities of those attendees. This will give you, kind of that flexibility based on your size. It'll be interesting to see if people are, booking a whole bunch of live events right now to kind of cross over into the kind of changes here, but knowing that there is an end date on those live events. Some other things that are coming out of Premium and into the base Microsoft Teams enterprise licensing is ECDN. So this was the kind of ability to reduce bandwidth impacts when you are having these large events. This was from an acquisition Microsoft did around Pure 5, I think was the name of the ECDN. So it's a little known feature that this is kind of part of that premium license. So hopefully now that it's kind of exposed to everyone, getting this to configure, it should be a kind of an activity that organizations should go through. It is in a separate admin portal than the Teams Admin Center. So look up the Learn articles around getting ECDN set up and kind of that rolled out. It does have its own portal, which is not linked through the Teams Admin Center. So you do have to kind of find out what the link is. This does mean that the Queues app is still part of Premium. So if you're using Teams Phone, you're using that additional functionality on top of queuing, that unfortunately is still in Premium. You have to still purchase that. And some of the administration settings, like the custom policy packages, are still in Premium. So you still need those Premium licenses for that functionality.
Very good. Thanks, Michael. So what's interesting is, I don't know if you guys have any comments, but they seem to be removing more features from Teams Premium, obviously, into the core licenses. Any speculation what the future holds for the Teams Premium license?
I mean, I was hoping the Queues app would drop out of that too and just be part of phone. I mean, that's one of our big drivers. I see it. I think Places was the other big one. So if you were an organization that was looking into hybrid spaces or booking, it was forced to Premium. That's now no longer the case. And Teams Phone, I'm hoping the Queues app becomes part of the base license, but no indicators of that. So without all these features in premium, does premium change a price point? I don't know, but there's still valued features that are required to unlock via premium.
Yeah, I was going to comment on the fact that I was hoping to at least the auto attendant and call queue configurations are now would be exposed to the end users, right? Like you need the premium license in order for the authorized user for an auto attendant or a call queue to manage the call flow and call forwarding and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm hoping that that will also come into play at some point as well too, but time will tell, I suppose.
Yeah, and you did mention the Places Explorer where you can look at floor plans and stuff like that. A lot of the customers that we are working with have to engage with a third party to deal with that, getting their floor plans and their maps into the service. So although the feature set is included in your base licensing, you probably have to work with a partner to get those maps and those floor plans into the service. But yeah, there's lots of certified partners that can do that. But just because the feature set has it doesn't mean you can just kind of easily enable it. You do have to get the content into the service.
Yeah, that's a good point. No changes to the configuration of the feature, but the feature is now allowed or enabled in your organization.
Yeah, outside of meeting recap and some of the watermarking and meeting features, that's really the main driver for premium now. So, and obviously the Q's app stuff. So not sure that's going to be enough to keep that license around. I don't personally know a lot of customers using that license today, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, you would think that the Copilot license would take over for the meeting recap and the intelligent recap and all that kind of stuff too, right? So if everybody's enabled in Copilot, that would, to me, that would be a really good transition for that meeting recap in the premium to just go and just use the Copilot one.
Well, especially because in that market, there's just so many AI tools now which do meeting recaps, and I see them all over the place. So yeah, that would seem like a logical move. Anyway, good discussion. We're brave for talking about anything related to Microsoft licensing. So kudos, we survived, and hope you will field any questions.
Just put his email address at the bottom of the video and be direct all licensing questions.
Curtis. I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. Well, good episode, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.